let's get going. I want to thank everybody for coming, first off, braving the elements and all the rest of it. How many of you are familiar that we did the deputation to the town of Creston and the regional district? Everybody? Mostly everybody? Okay. So I really don't need to review any of that then. I won't. Good. That's even better. This is what I'm calling, or we are calling, phase 2. Okay. In phase 1, the town was properly served. The regional district was properly served. And we asked them to answer our 6 questions. And the regional district sent me back a package. I have it here somewhere. But there was nothing new in it, really. We already had the information, all of it. So, given that, the most important thing that came out of that was that they went on the public record. And being on the public record is huge. And they cannot deny that, it doesn't exist. So I was happy. Yeah, I would have liked to seen a much more honest and, evaluation of it all, but I wasn't expecting to. I really wasn't. So we waited and waited, and as you know, December is pretty much a write-off for a variety of reasons, always is. And here we are in January, and it's time. We've had to add to this, I don't know how many times. It's the same old thing. Shelley knows what I'm talking about. Because there's new information coming out all the time. There's new things happening every day. And I have to pick a point, since I'm the one that's moving my lips and talking to people, and say, okay, enough's enough, we go with what we got. It's been proofed and proofed and proofed and proofed. It's been proofed by paralegals, it's been proofed by lawyers, it's been proofed by very experienced and intelligent people. I'm not worried about it whatsoever, okay? I'm not the least bit concerned about anything that I'm going to talk about in terms of reliability or, other legal BS that may arrive. There's one thing here that I want everybody to understand, okay, as we are calling this a declaration of dominion. And I really need people to understand what the word dominion actually means. Okay, we used to have the Dominion of Canada. Well, we don't see it anymore, okay, and I suspect it started to disappear about 1992. And then so on and so forth. It's not on the money, it's not anywhere. It's still in the Bill of Rights, okay? But the point is, dominion is also used on that book they like you to swear to in court, okay, the Bible. And it goes back to Vatican law, it goes back thousands of years. So right in the front page of that particular book, he says, I give you dominion. And seeing that we are always dealing with weasel words, turd words, illegal S, everything else, let's just cut to the chase and use the words as they were originally designed and given to us. This has been the biggest problem that we have had for a long, long time. We've been hoodwinked. We've been seduced with promises of all kinds of things. And if you start reading between the lines of many things, you see where the truth is, but you also see where the lies are. And they're usually hidden in plain sight. Well, we've had enough. We've absolutely had enough. I know every one of you have, and I've had enough. So that word dominion is in here, and please understand it, because you have choice. You have choice whether you wish to participate. You have choice whether you want to do anything you want to do. It's your choice. They will tell you you don't. They will intimidate you. They will lie to you. They will not tell you the truth. But the fact is, you have the choice. And what I'm finding with people, most are going, yeah, okay, I can do that. I get it. But the other part I get at the same time, but I get, well, what if they do this or what if they do that? And those seeds of doubt start to creep in. Don't let it happen. Ignore it. That's all I can tell you. That's just, a tiny bit of advice, if I may do so. This is also a lawful affirmation. It is not a hostile doctrine. It is not a hostile action. It's a lawful affirmation. Okay? And that being said, it's not hostile because we still offer to help those that have been compromised by the UN private-public partnerships, okay, help to get out of that jurisdiction. Because they're operating in 3 jurisdictions. The mayor operates, every mayor in Canada operates in an international jurisdiction for the UN. He's also capable of operating in a provincial manner, and he's also capable of operating in the local, so-called municipal area. He should only be in the local area, or she. That's why you have no recourse with them. You have no input. You have nothing, because they really are, in fact, UN employees. The chief administrative officer is, and so is the mayor. But the chief administrative officer shouldn't even be there. He should not even be there. It should only be the mayor, because the mayor is the chief executive officer. And our goal here is to republic the towns and the cities everywhere and get these mayors to sign a proper fiduciary oath to the public, where they are responsible to their constituents, be it in the town, be it in the geographical area where we are, and 100% accountable to them, and not these other regional boards or councils and all the rest of it. That's our goal. And once we do that, and it will happen, it's going to happen sooner than you think, the whole damn thing that they've been foisting upon us falls apart. Because when they came here in, I think, 98, when they changed the Municipal Act to the Municipal Charter, okay, and then ICLEI came about, which is, the Initiative for Local Environmental Issues, or, that kind of thing. And the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, all that, okay, came about. 98 and 2004, respectively, okay. Guess where they went first? To the lowest level of government, the municipal level. That's why we have to start here. And we're not the only ones. There's good things happening in Ontario. There's some good things starting to happen in Alberta. And I hear some other things out of Saskatchewan, but just rumors. So here we are. So with that, I hope that brings some clarity to what I'm trying to, give you. And we present this as part of the POG, the peaceful, orderly, good governance. Okay? We don't have violence. We don't need it. We got these things. And some of us still have a few wits left about us too. So let's get started. So, this is a lawful affirmation and declaration of dominion. I reserve my right not to be compelled to perform under any contract or commercial agreement that I did not enter knowingly, voluntarily, and intentionally. I do not accept the liability of the compelled benefit of any unrevealed contract or commercial agreement. Now, this is phase 2, and we've titled it the who, what, when, where, how, and the what now of it all. How can we help people understand the gravity of our present situation? First, we must acknowledge that a problem exists. Second, educate those that are unaware. Our voices together raise the consciousness. I'm calling upon good men and women who are brave and willing to take a stand to take action. It is our responsibility, the duty of all, to expose and confront corruption for all to see. There are those whose actions have become equal to the definition of terrorist, whereby an act is carried out to achieve an inhuman and corrupt objective and involving a threat to security of any kind and violation of rights acknowledged by religion and mankind. These threats are currently serving a foreign entity whose intentions are to rule, control, and establish restrictions intended to enslave us. Our actions will prove to be stronger. Throughout the ages, the who, what, when, and where, and how is a formula many investigators use to unpack a mystery. So why not use it now? Who are we and who are you? We are the men and women under the Creator of all who have dominion over our own lives and who are asserting inherent authority over unalienable rights and domains. The domain of the land we stand on and the domain of the governments we choose to stand with, not under, with. Who are they? Some say they are foreign economic agents who have been installed in our government offices to create laws and regulations that overstep rightful boundaries. They were sent to Canada to steal our beautiful resources, both natural and human. The UN, World Economic Forum, World Health Organization, the World Bank, BlackRock, Vanguard, venture capitalists, investors, stakeholders, elites, the Davos group, which currently right now, they're having their meeting too. The Bilderbergers, the Club of Rome, the Council on Foreign Relations, and many other secret societies. As George Carlin said, it's a big club and we ain't in it. And we don't want to be in it. All of these groups have three things in common. They want total control over every aspect of a human's life. They do not like humans, and they want a lot less of us. In 2017, Klaus Schwab admitted penetrating our local governments using public-private partnerships with local officials. Example, global mayor initiatives. The WEF pays mayors to bring us into the UN global governing system to create 15-minute cities and to designate all our land as UN green space. And there's a lot of artificial intelligence that I'm just beginning to find out about that is directly involved in all this. Vis-a-vis algorithms, predictions economically, the whole thing, and it's big. This is the only issue we need to be talking about. And what is happening, and what are public-private partnerships, or PPPs? Briefly, PPPs are a legal way of taking over lawful local regulatory control. They create de facto, masquerading as legitimate, de jure, and lawful officials are granted international status in order to sign huge infrastructure agreements. Fiat currency, usury, and fraud are used to create soaring taxes and high inflation levels, and bloated bureaucracies and huge administration costs are used to bankrupt our coffers. Now, when did this happen? Well, you almost got to go back to 1992, when our current Prime Minister at that time, Brian Mulroney, signed on to the Agenda 21, and that's when it all started. And then it crept up in increments. Globally, the UN has been overt with their intentions, but 2001 was a temporal marker. 1998 was a starting point, where the Municipal Corporations Act was removed and replaced with a private corporate charter. The roots of the UN field offices began to take hold of the villages, towns, and cities in Canada, using legal tricks and weasel words like amalgamation, regionalization. There's a lot more, but there's two. And where is it happening? This is happening all over the world. The COVID lockdowns proved every country that signed on to a UN Agenda 21 in 92 is in lockstep with a global entity and not Canada calling out the orders, even down to the municipal levels. And how is this done? There were several UN instructional documents sent to towns, but the controlling instrument used now is the Municipal Act. I don't even like the word. Introduced in 1998, using this de facto code, elected representatives became international agents. And our ability to govern our own affairs was usurped by foreign corporate interests, controlled by the UN, the WEF, soon maybe the WHO, and hundreds of non-governmental organizations, or NCOs. In addition to this, the public has been grossly and intentionally misinformed regarding the UN strategies like climate action plans and rewilding. These plans are privately funded narratives used to open the door to global takeover of lands, properties, and God-given rights. Now, what now? The UN global governing system is nothing short of a combination of fascism, socialism, communism, corporate, I don't want to say the word, I just struggle with this word. It's corporatocracy and totalitarianism. They want a new world order, the one world government for every country. That's been a conspiracy theory forever, but it's not a conspiracy theory anymore. It's in our face. Canada is under attack using the mayor's pen as the ammunition of choice. A conflict of holistic totality has been declared upon every man and woman. Each of us has a duty to peacefully and lawfully end this foreign occupation, implemented at the local level. All of the above brings us to the collective actions we are taking today. On November the 11th, 2023, we gave a deputation to the mayor and councillors of the town of Creston and the regional district of the Central Kootenay, both corporations. Both entities and the men and women holding office were properly served, and an answer is required by November the 30th. Our officials have failed to properly respond. Even the simple question of who do you work for? Who's your boss? Has gone unanswered. And the questions we ask them, if you as our elected officials are not the body in power and control, then who is? Who's your boss? Who's pushing the sustainable development and climate action plans within our organizations? Do you feel at all manipulated that these externally submitted strategic plans are being slid past you? Were you properly informed, or your newly elected duties and fiduciary responsibilities to the constituents? Why do you think this was done to you? If these ideologies that are being forced upon you and us turn out to be unlawful, in other words, ultra-virus, P-I-R-E-S, who will take the fall? It'll be the elected officials. Defrauding the public is a felony in Canada. And due to the urgency of evidential fraud, we are now taking the following directive measures. So, join us in a peaceful, lawful action to restore lawful mayors. The men and women declarants living in the Creston Valley geographical area under the umbrella and protection of the divine creator do state that this notice is to assert our collective voice and will to address the urgent lack of local fiduciary control and recent evidence of fraud on the public, and to affirm our duty to protect the land and bodies of which we were granted dominion over. I gotta have a drink of water before I do this one. We further state that your failure to properly respond on November 30th, 2023 necessitates this notice of dishonor. You failed to produce your oath of office as requested, which indicates you may be in de facto possession of the public trust, office, and seal. You were elected for the public trustee guardian office and to perform those duties as required. It appears you failed to invoke the following. You failed to properly respond by November the 30th, 2023, which indicates breach of fiduciary trust, failure, fraud. And we therefore revoke any and all consent for you to sign or act on any man or woman's declarant's behalf other than your own, or to access any registered public account created by or for the declarant. All present contracts, service contracts, let me clarify that, municipal or otherwise, that you have authorized past, present, and future, which are detrimental to the men and women, the declarants, trust, health, benefit, and or the future, are deemed null and void. Ultraviolence. Again. The declarants are not obliged to participate in fraud, nor forced to comply with de facto orders issued of your own accord. All lawful, unlawful municipal taxes and charges against the declarants will be forwarded to a public clearinghouse to be established at a soon but later date. And the declarant requires written notice prior to any taxes or fees charged and laid against the declarant. Now, we offer two options. Option A, you, the elected officials, you may be granted lawful redemption from past error and poor judgments if you remove yourself from all de facto covenants and restore peace, order, and good governance, the POG, under proper public lawful oath of affirmation with full fiduciary understanding and practice, which such oath encompasses. Or option B, the declarants will seek remedy from all harm caused by negligence, nuisance, public hazard, and breach of trust, past, present, and future. That's it. Then we come to this page, which says you got a dog in the race. This is a lawful affirmation of a declaration of dominion. I reserve my right not to be compelled to perform under any contract, any commercial agreement that I did not enter into knowingly, voluntarily, or intentionally. I do not accept the liability of the compelled benefit of any unrevealed contract or commercial agreement. As indicated by the names and autographs below, the men and women living in the Creston Valley geographical area, under the protection and umbrella of the divine creator of all that is, do state that this notice is, again, to collect or to assert our collective voice and will, to address the urgent lack of local fiduciary control and recent evidence of fraud on the public, to affirm our duty to protect the land and bodies of which we were granted dominion over. We have dominion over all aspects of our life as supported by this notification and evidenced by the declarant's autographs below in the geographical area known as the Creston Valley area and the Kootenay Lake area. These autographs will be certified, notarized, held in trust, and are to remain confidential pending further clarification from our elected officials in writing of issues set out on the reverse of this page. Upon receipt of clarification from elected officials, remedy may be sought and signatures may be released at that time. There it is. That's it. Well, you're damn quiet. Yes, Peggy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Are you expecting, like, let's say I'm filling out here the top line, then someone else is going to fill out the line after? Or is this page filled out by only?
No, you're taking that one home, but if you come up here, I'll show you what to do with it. You know, absolutely. How many of you support this? Thank you. I want to thank you for coming. And if you want to take one of those home and, you know, make a copy of it, and if you want to go door to door in your neighborhood or people that you know and put more signatures on it, please feel free to do so. You know where to find me. I'm not hard to find. We'll take everything we can get. And I know it's January and life is miserable right now for a lot of people. But these signatures or autographs, as they used to call them in the old school, are really, really important. They're really, really important. Yes?
When is the cutoff date you need these back on?
When?
When is the cutoff date that you need?
I don't have one, Peggy. The 18th is, I'm in West Creston talking to the hall there. And I don't know about the town yet, as you know, there's issues. And quite frankly, I'd like to do the town, but if I don't, so be it. Because this gets kicked up, okay, to the mayor to the regional district, to the Minister of Municipalities, and to the Premier's office. And maybe I'll send Mr. Trudeau a a New Year's card too. Yes?
For the witness, is that okay if it's a family member, or should it be a non-family member for a witness? Doesn't matter, a witness is a witness?
Anybody can witness it. I'll witness it for you if you want. I've done a number of them already.
Yeah, I would just mean when I take it around to my friends and family.
And I gotta be completely honest with you here. I haven't signed the damn thing yet myself. But I will.
So, quite often on petitions, children under 18 are allowed to sign on their behalf if they understand it.
I don't know why not. I don't know why not. I think they have as much right to, remedy or the truth as anybody does.
Is anybody of voting age?
What's that?
Anybody of voting age?
Yeah, that's kind of what there's a few of the teenagers I know, they truly do comprehend this type of language.
Yeah.
So, them, like my younger kids, they don't get this.
Yeah, I like the age of 18.
Yeah, okay, so legal majority.
They can draft you and kill you, so you should be able to, determine your own future. Yes, ma'am.
My question has to do with the two options that we outlined. Option A, may be granted lawful redemption, etc. Option B, the declarants will seek remedy.
Yes.
What does that look like? Because if you make a statement like that, we have to follow.
Well, the remedy could be many things. Part of the remedy is to get them out of their captured jurisdiction and get them back into a proper public oath with, full understanding of fiduciary responsibility, okay? And they don't have it. And these covenants that they sign, okay, are corporate covenants. They are not a public oath. They'll scream and yell that they are, but they sure as hell aren't.
Well, they didn't produce it, so it's not public.
It's not public. I mean, I can.
Do we have a copy of the oaths?
What's that?
Do we have a copy of the oaths?
I have them right here. I have copies of their corporate declarations. And to you, we had a copy of the declaration of covenant, a declaration or whatever from the town of Creston. Do you remember that? The oaths that they swear in the town?
There's a page on the town of Creston that you go into, and they've all signed it, and at the bottom,
I thought I had it here.
we have it.
It's on their webpage.
It's on their webpage, so you can go right on it, and it's
Yeah.
where they're talking about each one of them individually, and you have to scroll down. I'm gonna say I don't know, it's been a while since I've looked at it, but it's probably 6 or 8 pages down, and then there's a signature from all of them
Yeah.
on it, and it's not an oath.
No, it's not an oath.
No.
No.
No, it does not.
It's not an oath to us, the constituents.
Yeah, it's a declaration means that it's not to us. Like, again, it's the use of the language that they're using, and it obfuscates basically
Yep.
what, so we can say, oh, look, there's nothing bad on there, but
The community charter requires each municipality to establish their own oath of allegiance. And that their oath of allegiance should be to the citizens of that municipality.
Yeah. And we're working on one, and you'd think a simple oath wouldn't be a hard thing to do, but it is. It's got to be perfect. And it's even the old oaths, I haven't been able to find any of the old oaths, from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Most of them, are to the crown. I haven't been able to find a proper public oath for an elected official.
Talking about the crown and the Canadian law sits firmly on the citizen's head.
Yeah.
So we are self-governing. They work for us.
Does that answer?
I think when the earth tilted, it fell off.
Does that answer part of your question?
I understand where we're going with it, but I'm not sure what that looks like when it comes to being challenged. Because it's like a parent saying, you don't do this and I'm gonna take action, and if you don't, then your word is nothing. That's
Whoa.
what I'm saying is, okay, how do we make our word stronger, understanding what that
Yep.
second option is.
The second option is in seeking remedy. Let me go back to it. The discussions I've had about seeking the remedy, okay, on option B, we don't know just exactly how that goes, okay? I don't. But I can tell you this, I won't be putting up with any of that stuff, that they're trying to foist on me. And if I have to, I will just go in and serve the mayor a cease and desist order. And I will go and do it with the regional district too. That's all we can do right now.
I guess what I'm saying is that I'm behind in where you're at, and I need to educate myself in my best options, because
Yep. We're educating ourselves every day. I am.
I just realized that our words are more powerful when we actually can take action.
Yes, we can.
And if we're numb, it's harder
That's okay.
to be that present.
Yeah. See, I liken this, and what we're trying to accomplish here is it's almost like we're children and we're learning how to talk. And we all have to learn to speak the same language because it's just where it is.
So when you're discussing service contracts, so most of us have entered a contract in regards to our property taxes.
Yes,
So that could potentially be a remedy because we feel that that's bringing harm to us because of breach of trust.
yes.
Like maybe get creative
Well,
with some of that kind of stuff.
That will,
A lot of us have mortgages where we have agreed to the lending agency and the insurance that we're going to. So, but they all, in my opinion, are
Yeah.
things that we entered in unknowingly. We didn't know, and so that breach of trust, I think, is a big issue that kind of goes into a lot of areas of our life.
yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Heather, because that's part of the remedy.
Could be.
Okay, are the financial clearinghouses that we want to establish. And then we get a handle on, the taxes. We get a handle on who gets what, when and where.
Well, could you not, in a way, like we kind of did this in another way, but you'd say, okay, here's my what I'm presenting to you. I would like this information. Once you've given it to us, then you can have. I'll enter into the contract with you with the property taxes, just as that example.
Yeah.
So it's another way, a bit of a leverage for us saying we know now you're de facto. So give us the evidence so that we can trust you.
Yeah, well, getting them out of their captured state is the first stage. And this may do it, and it may not do it. Because we've got 5 more levels that we're going to explore. And where we're going, I gotta find it, is, it's a multi-stage process that we're doing, okay?
Well, don't we have to serve them 3 times?
What's that?
Don't we have to serve them 3 times?
Well, this will be the second time.
Right.
Everything usually goes in 3s with them anyways, unless it's a slam dunk for them, then it just goes once. But usually everything goes 3. So, we've already served them once. This will be the second time, okay? And then, I don't know whether we'll do it now or the third time, the notice to admit jurisdiction. Okay? And then the next one, or part of that, will be revocation of presumed public or inhabitant consent in the meantime. And then after that, there could be a cease and desist to both city CEO and CAO, the agent principal. There's de facto possession of power or powers, a foreign coup d'etat, and all officers, actors in all three jurisdictions, public, private, and international, have been given public notice, followed by the paper service of the claim. So that's kind of where we're going, okay? Don't, just be patient, because this one is super important.
It's rallying the troops.
Yep.
It's letting them know that there's power in force.
Oh, there's more than power in it. We're calling them out. Hello?
Neil, I'm assuming then that notice of dishonor is a legal term?
It sure is. It's a lawful.
I mean, the words to me, I know what the words mean, but what does it mean from a legal perspective? What is the legal?
Dishonor, it can mean multiple things. It means that you're operating in a deceitful way. It means you're not responding properly to my simple questions. You treated me with dishonor. And in effect, they treated you with dishonor.
And a dishonor of their position?
Yes. Yes. Yes, sir.
Which we elected.
Everyone's
Yes.
quiet. Everyone's quiet.
Maybe we understand what's happening. You gotta do some studying.
Do you have an end date for the fifth stage? Like, have you got dates, and are they, I'm just curious to know if they're, like, if we were to get an election in Canada and all those different things, how all those things might influence the timing of all of this?
Well, I hope it has a huge influence on it, okay? Because we really do right now, okay, but what we're doing in this program have a massive chance to explode the whole thing, okay, in terms of awareness and impact, you know, on the coming elections. The provincial one, I really want Trudeau to know about this. Okay, because I want to watch and see what he does to Squeam and what he's going to call us, or me. I don't really care. I want him to know about it. We'll invite him to another brewery party.
And so on this page, when it says upon receipt of clarification from elected officials, is that from the clarification being sought is from the first document? The simple question?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes, you bet. Okay,
One of the things I was thinking about, Neil, was that the municipal elections, that they need to replace the two councillors that have already stepped down. One of the biggest issues that I see for these people is that they don't have the time to study this stuff. So I think what they need is, they need to have somebody that's doing this kind of background.
as soon as I find out who the candidates are, okay, I'm going to track them down. And I'm going to have, hopefully, a brand new oath, okay, in my hands. And I'm going to say, do you want our vote? You're going to sign this. Because we're going to hold up the whole damned election if you don't sign a proper oath. Plus, they need to know the liability aspects of that covenant. They have no idea.
No, absolutely. No, all I'm suggesting is,
Yep.
I ran for council, and I'm thankful that I did not get in, because just like these people, they don't have the time to know all about this stuff. So they need somebody, an advocate, that allows them to get this information.
I'll give you the job. Come on.
I don't think I'm the right person for the job, but
Everybody put your hands up. That's, I know what you're saying, honestly, I do. And it starts with the proper oath, okay? And then they're gonna say, well, why? And if they do sign it, and then the town gives them, heck, no, you can't sign that one, you can't sign that one. Well, the counselor's gonna go, why do you want me to sign yours?
What's the difference? Explain to me, what's the difference?
Yeah. And you just have to use 3 words, public-private partnership. It's all hidden. All right, I've got pens here, ladies and gentlemen. Take your time, come on up, and if you will. Can you hit the power button? Yeah, turn it on.
Yeah, oh, excellent.
Getting involved. Because it's always the same old story, right?